What's up, Sports-A-Delic? It's me, Reem, and goddamn James Carrington. We coming at you with our cigar series and, of course, spirits. Come on over here in the studio. We're going to go over the cigar of the year. Sports-A-Delic, what is up? I'm Reem, James goddamn Carrington.
What's happening?
And we got a treat, I would say, for our viewers today. As always, please like and comment. And I certainly want to hear your comments because I know you're going to run out and get this cigar of the year. You know why? Because we're telling you to, all right? It's a shocker.
Okay.
I want you to give me your honest reaction. James doesn't know which one's the cigar of the year. A lot of you all probably don't know, but it's a shocker. I'm shocked. And I honestly haven't had it. The 10th anniversary Maduro.
Okay.
This is it. 2021 Cigar of the Year, rated number 1 by Aficionado. And James, would you do the honors of cutting up so we can light up?
Sure.
Okay. Armed and dangerous day. Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's going on here? Oh. Pretty good on the light up.
It seems like it. It seems orgasmic, really. The way you doing it. Let me see if it's gonna be the same effect for me. You got the sound effects with it.
That wasn't me.
Okay, you know,
Okay.
Pretty good medium taste on light up.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted you to know that I gave you the gordo. Gordo in Spanish means fat.
Yeah.
And so I figured you wanted the fatter one in your mouth.
No. But appreciate it. So does that mean that you only like pencils?
In my mouth.
Okay. Yeah, I told you what my dad said, right?
Well, you might have told me, but I mean, if you want to tell, you can.
Oh, okay. So I introduced my father to the show.
Do you need to apologize to my parents first?
I apologize.
Okay.
So I was showing my father the last segment. And so when it got to the part of when he was looking at you, he stopped. He said, "Hey, rewind that." Then he told my uncle, he said, "Hey, look." I said, "Man, come on."
Pops, this is for you.
That was for you, Pops.
That's for you.
Let's get to these games.
Wait, but hold on. I'm going to tell you what's for you. Because I'm doing something different.
Okay.
I really want to talk through the Perdermo piece.
Okay.
Because Perdermo has been out there for years.
Yeah.
Consistent. God knows they have every price point known to man.
Yeah, they do.
And I remember we used to joke, because sometimes if the cigar money get a little funny, you got to break down and get one of the Francescas.
The Frescas.
The Frescas, they, but a lot of people smoke those, the Lot 23. I started with the Lot 23.
Yeah, I've had the Lot 23s. It is a very consistent smoke, and it does have a lot of people that like it. And it's one of the most consistent buys when you see in most, brick and mortars. So, it does its thing. I mean, I've been a fan of Perdomo. I love they used to have a blend called the Patriarch that I thought was a great blend.
I had one of those, and it was awesome. I don't know anyone that smokes cigars unless they're maybe in some other country. But if you're in the United States, you smoked at least one Perdomo.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite Perdomo, and although I'm touring through, this new 10th anniversary, my sister's favorite is the 10th anniversary champagne.
Yes.
I love that one.
Yeah.
But my favorite one is the new sun-grown that they have.
That's a good one.
And I like the 20th anniversary, the black label. I don't like the red label. I like the black label. But since, it's our last series of 2021, that is, I made up a special batch of the Jamaican rum punch, man. I'm Rima from Rima.
Yay.
Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Jungle, bad girl. And, I have a guest bedroom if necessary.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm damn eyeing before I even taste it.
Yeah, I went in hard on this one.
Wow. Whoa. If anybody out there, y'all really need to ask her to make this for y'all. This is... You all right? Yeah.
Okay.
That's a grown person's drink.
Like I said, I push myself with my ingredients this time. I knew when I added these 2 extra spices that it was going to kick everything a little harder. But it's good. It's dangerous. I have a lot of friends that have had, the punch, and I do have a couple of steady, customers. They gotta have it.
Yeah.
So you gotta hit me up. Only my subscribers will get a discount. The New Year's coming in, and this is all you need. Do not let the smooth taste fool you.
At all.
And don't mix this. Just if you're gonna drink, just drink this. And a lot of people say, "Oh well, it's gonna be too sweet," and then they sip it and they be like,
"Yeah,
okay, well maybe not." So
and before you realize it, you at the end of the bottle, and you going, "What happened? Who all drunk this?" With
the
me?
next day, what?
Oh yeah,
what the hell? Yeah, that's what goes down. But I can tell, just being kind of a student of this game, I can honestly say that now. It didn't start out that way. And Richard, the editor and producer here for the show, really upped my game, when we met. And because I used to stay away from full body.
Yeah.
I used to just run. And then when he started educating me about the leaves and the binders, the fillers, the wrappers, then I just... jumped off the cliff.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. It's a good smoke. It's a solid smoke. It's a Perdomo. It's going to be solid. Nice construction. And I told you guys before, if you've been following us with this series, Maduro isn't necessarily this strong leaf. It's actually considered a sweet leaf. So Don't run from it. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like it has a earthy tinge to it. When you say
It has a chocolate undertone to it. It has a little chocolate undertone to it. But it's a little way that I always try to express to people when they trying to understand their palate. I always tell people, I say, hey, listen, if you ever want to, there's a couple of ways that you can get it to clean your palate, which is going to be your Perriers, your chocolate milks, your root beers, things of that nature. But one of the other things that
cream soda,
yes, of course, cream soda. But it's a little trick that you can do. Okay, so as you take your smoke in, all right? After you exhale, now take your tongue and smack it down from the bottom of your mouth.
In public?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it whenever.
I mean, right here, right now.
Yeah, right here, right now. Redo that again so you can, just like
I know how to do it.
Okay.
I know how to do it.
Okay.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, it kind of opens up that palate.
It does.
And you can taste a lot of the different flavors and things.
You can.
You can taste a lot of different flavors that they're trying to do in the blend.
Oh, what's up? I like that shirt.
Thank you.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, check it out. Website.
Okay.
Silent Guard Protector.
Well, speaking of which, James, I do think you should take time out to discuss your brand and how people can get at you, to enhance their smoking experience.
Sure. Well, I've been around a lot of spots, but I'm now getting ready to get into the branding aspect of this whole thing. Logos, T-shirts, all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people, when I'm in spots, I do recommendations for people, but I ask the right questions. And a lot of times people try to come in and put people on something that they smoke and not paying attention to what it is that the person is asking for. If you got someone that's a newbie, I'm not going to recommend them anything that's heavy because you'll end up turning them away from it. Right. So usually what I'll do...
You got to train the palate.
Correct, you do. So I'll say, hey, either start off something that's going to be a little flavorful or maybe light.
Lot 23.
The Lot 23s.
Good starter.
The 10th anniversary champagnes.
Yeah, those are excellent starter kit.
Correct.
Sticks is what I call
And so when you taste the 10th anniversary champagne, it's going to give you that. It's going to give you that a little bit of creamy and earthiness to it. And so it's a light smoke. Don't try to hotbox it. That's the one thing that I would tell anyone that's doing Connecticut's or lighter blends. Don't try to hotbox it because what will happen is that the leaf is so thin and light that it will onion on you. It will blossom.
But explain to the viewers what hotboxing is.
Okay, hotboxing is when you sit back and every 2 or 3 seconds.
I call it power smoking, like a cigarette or something.
Correct. And this game is not really meant for that. It's meant to sit back and relax, take the flavors in, let it hit your palates, and you release it. And so once you do that, you're talking about being able to sit back and just wind down, take the time to sit back and enjoy, have a conversation with someone. And before you realize and before you know it, what you're looking at is you don't want 2 or 3 quarters into the cigar, and now the cigar might change, and you're like, oh my God, this is great. And you're having great conversations, whatever it is that you talk about. Me and you've known each other for a very long time, and what do we always do? We talk about life, we talk about sports,
relationships.
We talk about relationships, bull. I ain't gonna say the other word, but we talk about bull, we talk about things that people are doing. Just like the little situation last segment, we're talking about how to be a hoe. I mean, it's just those type of things. I mean, life events. And that's the best thing that you have when you find a home shop that you come in and you are frequent to. And
right. And that's what goes into, as you said, when you're trying to introduce someone. And like I said, I know with your new line, your leaves, it's a segue. I think you can segue into cigars.
Yeah.
So again, explain about your different leaves and all that is about.
Yeah. So what it is, I'm coming out with a line first of the year in a couple of weeks, and I'll do a flavored leaf line, and so that's the market that I'm branching into. I'm taking all the knowledge that I've learned from cigars, just being around all the different cigars and labels that I've smoked. And one recommendation for anybody that's trying to get into this game and understand it, what I would advise for them to do is to start a journal. Get a little book. Once you get the bands off, write on it whether or not you like it, you didn't like it. That way, if you come around somebody and say, "Hey, have you tried that new?" You're like, "Well, yeah, I have." And so what is your experience on that? Because we all know that we can sit around here and everybody has had some overhyped cigar, through the roof as far as price point. And when you try, you say, well, I could have had a ESV or a Symmetry.
And in some cases, I could have just not had anything at all.
Correct.
Sadly.
So.
But that's also the beauty of cigars. I mean, we can live to be 1,000. You'll never be able to smoke all of them.
Correct.
You got to remember, we're in the United States, and not every cigar that's made ever makes it to the United States.
Correct.
That's just like the purest Cubans. You're going to get those outside of the U.S. because of the embargo, naturally.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean it's the best cigar in the world by any means, but it's a forbidden fruit. But I've noticed outside of the U.S., the taste points, like you can't, the best way to not be tricked with a fake Cuban, you have to have smoked one.
Yes.
If you've smoked one, that taste forever.
It's going to be embedded.
Because I will say there's no other taste like it.
Correct.
And then you'll know.
Yeah.
And like I said before, if it's in cellophane or some bamboo, wooded, bambooish type case, it's just not. I don't care what someone tells you. That's just not how they get down. If somebody sell you 20-piece Cuban Bahique, they got you.
Yeah.
Because they don't even come in 20s. Just
Correct.
10 at a time. There's just some things you should know. And like he said, you can keep a journal right there on your phone. Just put it in your notes.
Yeah.
When you like something. And, I also recommend, like with Perdomo. Perdomo has a variety, a super line of cigars, shapes, sizes.
Yeah.
And I recommend that you tour through all of them. Yeah. Every time you go and buy a different cigar. Always get your go-to, something that you like, but just keep trying, each different one. I guarantee you, before you know it, you're going to be like me. I have my top 20.
Yeah.
I have my top 10. I have my top 5. And then I have, my absolute go-to.
Correct.
Now, no knock on Perdomo. My favorite is what? My favorite cigar.
The Lira V Melania.
My favorite
And the ESG.
is Ashton ESG.
ESG.
Or the Melania V. I mean, by Oliva.
Yeah.
Either one of those are my go-to. And when I'm just kind of chilling, when I'm not really trying to be about it, I do like to go to either the 10th anniversary Champagne by Perdomo or the 20th anniversary Black Label, the sun grown, series for my just kind of chill. I'm very much a mood smoker. Got to be what I'm in the mood for. And that's why I do give shops a hard time. Don't be expected. Let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not paying a cut fee. I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to have my own cigars. It's not my fault that you've opened up an establishment and you didn't properly budget and set aside money, let's just say, for cigar inventory. You in the cigar business, but you didn't set aside a budget for inventory, and you want to try to force me into just buying some cigars. That's not how this game works.
No.
If your humidor has a nice variety, you don't have to worry about a cut fee. Correct. Because those of us that enjoy this lifestyle, this game right here, we're going in there and we're going to purchase 3, 4, 5 cigars. That's just a proven fact. But if you have maybe 10 boxes, and of those 10, 6 cigars that I've never heard of, and you have to have some pure crap to get into something that I've not ever heard of in my life. People are not going, and then like you said, they're overpriced. People are not going to spend $15, $20 for an experiment. That's just not going to happen in this game. I promise you, if you have an excellent selection, you won't need a cut fee.
Correct.
And I just think if you don't have proper ventilation, but I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate people going after their dream and opening up their own business, because you still can win some kind of way. But if they have a bar, it's probably really not about the cigars at that point. But you go over to a burn, it's going to be about all of it. The food.
The experience.
The food, the cigars, the bar, and the experience. And you're going to pay a little more because you're paying for the experience.
Correct.
I don't expect to see prices that you see at Burns, for your establishment, and you barely have some sticks.
Cigars, that's the thing that you look at is people don't understand the concept. They think that it's cool, but it takes a lot of knowledge and know-how to know what brings in, because you got to first of all listen. Everybody has different palates, and so you as big as this market is here where we are at, they're all doing okay. Mm-hmm. You got some that are doing great. You got some that are doing median, but they all have access to make money. As many stores as we have here, which I think this is one of the largest markets with the amount of brick and mortars that we have in a metro area. I think that when we look at some certain people, they're going to be a little bit more green. They're not going to know exactly what they want. So they'll come into an establishment and they've seen something on TV and they say, oh, it costs $40, $50, so it has to smoke good. No, it doesn't mean that.
No.
It doesn't mean that. Because I can maybe sit back and enjoy the uniqueness of that $50 cigar, whereas someone else might not be able. They'll be sitting there going, it's just $50.
Right? Because they're just parlaying in the scene.
Correct.
And but I did want to share this. I told you all before, 2022. Sports-A-Delic. Order your T-shirt. I even have hoodies. I do. If you want a hoodie. And my subscribers, of course, you guys get a discount that's coming at you 2022. But there's something else that's going to be coming at you. My chief editor and producer here at Sports-A-Delic, one of my best friends, Richard, we're actually going to be starting our own online cigar business, but we also have 2 of our own featured brands. One is called Sweet Mary Jane.
Okay.
It's going to be a blend of the sweeter tobacco leaves, not infused to be sweet, just the naturally sweet. And then we have nipple in your mouth. So, what's up?
Of course, it would have to be something like that.
Right, it's a nipple.
Well, it's better than the other one that I thought that you would say.
Damn. We're just look for it, and we're certainly, that's just something that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be kind to James right now.
Please.
As you can see, when you want to know if a cigar is of quality from a construction standpoint, from a leaf binder and wrapper, the filler and all of that, it looks like stucco. It's the ashes. It has a nice thickness and the white coating.
Yes.
You know, it's nice and thick. And I guarantee you, if I was in my convertible driving down the street, this still wouldn't fall off.
Right.
I don't know if you all experienced that. When you got a really good one, like you have to like really jam it in the wind to get that to brush off. Like I said, this is the cigar of the year, Perdomo, 10th anniversary Maduro, blue label. And you know, like I said, it for me it's a decent smoke.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it's rated #1. I would not have rated it #1. To me, it's not as good as the 10th anniversary champagne, but that's just me. That's again just the beauty of the game.
Yeah.
But if you haven't tried it, it's worth trying.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all.
At all.
Like it's working out.
Great price point too. Yeah. With the
Yeah, if you want to spend
pairing.
$10, $11,
Yeah.
here you go.
And it's great with the pairing. The Maduro hints with the sweet taste of the hunch punch, rum punch, Rima punch, whatever you call it, whatever you gonna name it, nipple in a jar or however you want to put it.
You know,
That'll be a great name too, nipple in a jar.
I did not name either one of our brands. You know, Richard, he had the cigar in his mouth and he was smoking and he was like, you know, that's a lot of sweet notes on it. You know what? Sweet Mary Jane. Not to be confused with the Mary Jane cigar.
Correct.
This is Sweet Mary Jane. And then he broke out, you know, with the whole nipple piece. He was trying to explain to me, and hey.
Who doesn't like a nipple in your mouth?
As a woman,
Be careful.
you know, those of us that were benefited from breastfeeding as an infant, but you know, to each his own.
It still provides nourishment. One nourishment is for the body, the other one's for the soul. Let's be realistic. There's nothing wrong with a nipple in the mouth.
Sometimes in life, you know, you can be a provider.
Okay.
All I can do is provide. That's all I can do.
Provide the nipple for everyone, right?
Again, all I can do, and certainly not for everyone. But you got my point, man. Jesus.
Yeah, you got mine too, right?
Sports-A-Delic, you see, this is what I have to go through. This is not an easy show for me, okay? It's not an easy show. I knew when he walked in the studio with them damn glasses on, repping his brand, I knew that I was going to be in for something. I knew that I was.
Yes, always.
You know, James. But, you know, we'll my team, Washington, that is, we took a hit. I mean, I know it was a tremendous game, even when you all played them, the Falcons. I just didn't understand the response. Like, I mean, I know it's a rivalry. It's not the other team's fault. If you have injuries, COVID, whatever, correct. Dallas did what they were supposed to do. But when I hear things like Dak is back, and all of a sudden, like prior to 2 weeks ago, they were up 24 to love.
Yeah.
And a call go here or there. We had an opportunity to actually tie the game up 27-27. We lose to them by 7. We didn't even have the benefit of the same players, for this past Sunday, because we were decimated with injuries, decimated, with COVID. We had a couple of cats that have never played that were brought up from the practice squad. We had a couple of cats that were working 9 to 5, but they were speed guys, because speed kills. You remember Beer Man?
Yeah.
Beer Man from the Saints? Like, he was delivering beer. But there was an open tryout. He ran a 4.25, and what was his name? Michael. I can't remember his name. I know his first name is Michael, but
who do you play with?
He played for the Saints. They call him Beer Man.
Yeah, I know Beer Man. Yeah.
Yeah, and he 4.25, and if you can catch, you can make a decent living, in the NFL. And I had a chance to meet him. I was working a golf tournament with Jim Brown. This is when the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, and he was there, and I met him and, took some pictures or whatever. And I just congratulated him on, hey, you made the most of your opportunity. And he talked about, he said, this is what he says, I didn't make a lot of money, but hey, $5-6 million for a guy that was delivering beer.
Yeah.
I said, look, you made out like a bandit. God is good all the time.
Always.
But what kills me about the Cowboy fans, if you say anything that they don't agree with, you're hating. I talk shit about every team in the NFL and my team. Yeah. That's just the beauty.
That's the one thing about it. You're universal with your
but I was threatened. I was threatened.
By who?
By just these random cats on social media. I was getting call and text messages, at 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just disrespecting my household. I gotta answer questions about, well, who is this, guy, and who is that guy, and all of this kind of stuff. And that's when I'm talking about some people I hadn't even heard from in 2-3 years.
Wow. So
that's what motivated me to put up the post. Okay, congratulations to the Cowgirls. You all won the Super Bowl. Because I don't know if they should win the Super Bowl. I don't know that they can react any differently than how they have been reacting. And they're still talking about it. Now, one thing that I do know, there's fans, and then there are athletes that are fans.
Yeah.
Those of us that have played sports at any level, we already know you celebrate that game and then you're on to the next, because Arizona is decimated.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's out.
Yeah.
They're struggling, but Tyler
they're still
Murray,
a scary team though.
They're scary.
They're scary.
And I know Dallas has shown us that they have a focus issue. And so if they don't focus, they'll lose to Arizona.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of sports. Now, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts has quietly been assassinating folks, balling out, and it seemed like they're fine. He and Smith, Devontae Smith will end up a Hall of Famer if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
He's that good. He's not just a Heisman. He's that good. But they've figured out one another. Like Jalen has figured out, just throw it up.
Well, I think also is that they're really truly giving Jalen a shot. because normally that's not something that happens. It's not something.
Because they wasn't. I mean, he was.
They'll try to convert you real quick. You got the speed, so we're gonna try you at receiver or halfback.
Well, they thought that he could transition, and he could. He could definitely. Yeah. What I seen from him in college, he definitely could transition to a running back. This is not a little dude by any means. I've seen him up close in person. It's not a little dude. But what I like about him, he reminds me of Tim Duncan. You can never tell from his facial expression anything that's going on.
He's coming in.
You don't know if they're up by 20 or down by 30.
Yeah.
If you look at his face, he's a winner. He's a quiet, ruthless competitor.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia right now reminds me of the football Giants when they squeaked in the playoffs at 8-8. And they got hot.
They got hot at the right time.
And upset the Patriots. The Patriots would have eclipsed the Miami Dolphins, the perfect season.
Exactly.
Except for they would have ended with a Super Bowl win.
Correct.
But the football Giants, as a matter of fact, each Super Bowl that the Giants won in recent history, it was based on them getting hot at the right time.
That defense.
Right.
Defense.
And I give credit where it's due. Dallas front seven, your opportunities is in the secondary. I'm still not sold 1,000% on Diggs. Diggs is awesome. He should be, as he is, considered for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
He has 11 interceptions.
Yes.
I'm not taking anything away from him.
Correct.
I'm a sports-adelic. Part of being a sports-adelic is you don't go for all the hype. You're watching in between the numbers. You're peeling back the layers on that onion, and he's very susceptible to the double move.
Correct.
I watched one of our guys at Clemson when he was, with Bama, torch him. Because, again, when you have a quarterback that knows that you are kind of greedy like that, they talk about those things.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera is a great defensive-minded kind of coach. But when you go up against a great mind, a Belichick, when you're going up against Tampa Bay, it's about Brian Leftwich. When you're going up against these great offensive minds, they know how to get you out of position. They know how to make you pay. And we have to pay attention to even Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They're unhealthy, but they're getting healthy. They brought in Le'Veon Bell, who I still think, by all accounts, I don't know how much is really left, but I have watched Tom Brady resurrect Fournette.
Yes.
So if Le'Veon Bell gets resurrected, look out, Tampa Bay, here they come.
I got one question for you though, and some people might say, hey, this is, he just saw because he's a Falcons fan. I understand that. I get it. My question is, where are they getting all this money to bring all these guys in? Because these are guys that are going to be cheap.
But you don't like. Le'Veon Bell, what he did was drove his own market value down. You can't sit out. I'm telling you, as a woman that played sports at every level, you cannot sit out a year healthy and come back the same. Because if you can't even do it when you're unhealthy. And he set out. Remember, he was outraged because your guy, Todd Gurley, became the highest paid running back in the league.
Right.
And he felt like he should be that dude.
At that time, he was doing similar numbers, though.
No, but you got to do your homework. Your homework tells you the Rooney family has never paid anybody other than the quarterback.
That's it.
The entire history, they don't do that. Correct. The smart thing that he should have done was take those small contracts, sign for $40 million, $30 million guaranteed. And then you're young enough, sign for another and get your money that way. If your organization over history has shown you they don't pay like that.
All right, so
but you understand they don't do that.
I understand that concept. The flip side of that is that as the player, you have to maximize your dollar when you can, because we all know the NFL means not for long. So do you take it away from anyone when they are going out there to get their money or to get their check? Because
I'm not knocking him,
especially that position. That position is a hard position.
No, I'm not knocking him for going after his money. My point is not with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rooney family. They don't pay running backs all of that money.
Correct.
They don't do it.
Yeah.
They haven't done it. Right? They don't do it.
You're correct.
And you have to then start asking yourself, am I suddenly going to change their mind?
No.
Because
they got a formula.
They have 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah. They got
based
6.
on that formula.
On that formula.
And that formula didn't require them to give a running back $60, $70 million. So based on their success and what you want, you're out of line. Take a shorter contract, get you guaranteed. He gave back what was equivalent $17 million, thinking that he's going to go somewhere else and get it. But what happened? He gets hurt. He gets hurt.
That injury bug. And
then now he was sitting on his couch or whatever, waiting on somebody to call. Fournette. Fournette experienced that.
Yeah.
He wanted more money. And he wasn't even really producing. I don't know what was wrong with him. But he was smart enough to, hey, if you guys want me at this price, now he was able to kind of renegotiate, won a Super Bowl. He was a big part of that.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting, some money, that money that he wanted, or that comfortable,
correct,
I can kick back type money. Now, if Le'Veon Bell, was with the Rams pay their guys.
Yeah.
Even during the time that Eric Dickerson was with them, they paid him top dollar for that time. They pay their guys.
Yeah. You have some organizations that are like that. They'll open up the checkbook.
Right. He could have came to here to Atlanta.
Think about, look at Deion's last contract with Washington. That was
James.
That was a pretty pricey.
It was strategic in terms of. I'm not knocking Deion Sanders for his brilliant.
Get that check.
Him and his agent. It was brilliant.
They show you how to get the check.
Because I think it was like $40 million, but I think like 25, 30 was guaranteed.
Get that check.
With well-documented, well-known turf toe.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, from what I understand, turf toe can really be career-ending. It's a tremendous, terrible injury, especially if you're a cornerback.
Because it's your pivot.
And then, and what does he do? Retire the next year.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Deion. That was poor business on our behalf, which we're notorious. And stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing a full series about all the corruption, all the misguided missiles in terms of decision making with my organization. Because Daniel Snyder, by all accounts, is a gangster. Like
this rum punch. This is gangster.
Like when we break down for you what a gangster is and what a gangster does, and then we correlate Snyder, you'll understand the man is nothing more than a gangster.
No, but that'll be a good name for it.
Gangster
Snyder.
juice?
No, Snyder.
Get you some Snyder.
Like
I said, hit me up in the comments. If you live in the Atlanta metro area, I got you.
That's dangerous.
Don't be asking me for recipes. Don't be asking me how many liquors and what I'm doing and all of that. You just drink it.
Enjoy it
and be glad that I was.
And do it with a nice smoke. And
whatever that smoke is.
Whatever that smoke is, you can kind of blend it with all of it, because The only thing that I haven't maybe tried your punch with has been something that's on the spicier side. Something that's going to be more of a Habano seed.
Well, I have, and that's the beauty of this. This is going to pair with any and everything, except for empty stomach.
Yeah. Definitely need something on your stomach. Maybe a nipple in your mouth or something. Didn't you say that's the name of the cigar?
Regrettably, I did.
Yes. Nipple in your mouth. Coming to your store soon.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I ain't got nobody to blame but myself. That's it. Now, I'm going to transition to something that came up.
Okay.
It was myself, 3 of my homegirls, about 4 or 5 of my homeboys, and we had what I said, it was an adult level conversation. And what I mean by that is nobody was interrupted.
Who's an alpha and who's not. Just that presence. When you out in the wilderness and you see that lion sitting over there, you know without a shadow of a doubt, you ain't even, that lion don't go over there talking about raw. No, they sit back in the cut. But when it comes out, then they want to calm down and be like, oh, then you realize who's beta.
Well,
Because
I do understand because
and women know who alpha.
well, you know, my late Uncle Leroy shared this with me. He told me that a woman can speak the truth. And if it's cut that man to the white meat, he's going to deny the truth. Because a man can come along and say the same thing, and it's all good. Because I basically said what you said. Only thing I said was, if either you were a alpha male, you would have never had to tell me.
Exactly.
I know that you guys aren't alphas.
Because they
And you know that I know that you're not an alpha male. Yeah. But we live in a society where you get to choose and identify however you want to. So for that reason, you are. Because if that's how you perceiving yourself. Yeah. But
who can tell anybody that they're not alpha? And because every man is going to sit here and say, I'm alpha. Just
well, I'm going to tell you who tells the man. When they're alone in the shower, or, you know, just washing their car, or, you know, in their bedroom, those 4 walls, they know. They know.
They know.
They know. They got to know.
Yeah.
That's just like the guy that may be on the other side of cute. He knows his money. He knows that.
Yeah.
You know, so
but he tells himself, no, it's my swag, it's my persona.
And that's the woman. The woman depends on you to be delusional about yourself.
Yeah, because the more delusional you are, the easier you are as
the prey.
As a simp. Yeah, you're easier as a prey.
Right. You know,
So,
it's like
if
I'm gonna feed into his ego.
Correct.
And I'm gonna drink all night on his tab.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm just different. I just rather just tell you up front, look. Because things in life isn't really about what you think. It's about the perception of the person at the end of the day. What I mean by that is, I'll say to someone, it's not a matter if you're lying or not. It's about if I think and believe that you're lying.
Correct.
And so if I think and believe that you're lying, save your breath, save your time, save everything. It's not going to change the fact that that's what I think, feel, or believe.
Yeah, because as a female, you're observant to males, and just like any male is going to be observant to females. You know, you're going to look at patterns. You're going to look at just things that are going on. If a woman comes in and she's touching you on your arm and she's constantly, hey, how you doing? And everything is with laughter. And if you say something that was mediocre as far as funny, and she just crack up laughing. Okay, all right, I get it. A lot of times people get a bad misconception, and they think they'll take, especially some females, they'll take that fact that if I say, "Hey, how you doing? How's everything going?" They'll take that as if it's an advancement, and it could be not. It just, "Hey, how you doing? How's everything going? How's your day going?" That type of deal.
Well, I guess what I'm saying in a nutshell is most men that are or think they are alpha, they're very quick to, and I even think that the guy Kevin Samuels has put it out there like that there's something wrong with being a beta male, because it's like a Webster dictionary.
Okay.
If you look into Webster, there's a lot of words that have 2, 3, 4 meaning based on context.
Okay.
Context is something that helps you to understand what the hell is actually being talked about here.
Okay.
And on the surface, most alphas just see leader of the pack and they stop right there. If you present to them all the other characteristics, and if it doesn't jive with where they are, then it's like, nah. Okay, well, do your homework and your research. Because usually men that are pounding their chest, gotta be seen, gotta be heard, I'm the leader of the pack, up underneath all of that shit is insecurity. Those are still characteristics of the alpha because they got to let you know. But if you dissect sigma, if you dissect alpha, if you dissect beta, if you actually dissect, you would want to be able to be all of those things, because in life you're going to be presented. The best leaders in the world know when to follow, because beta men are, their personality is to first follow, but they're some of the most observant people.
Correct.
And
I'll agree with you. You have to have a lot of it. Yeah.
Like a sigma. A sigma is actually, again, do your homework, do your research, hit me up with your comments, and if you find something contrary to what I'm saying, bring it to me. And you can even go webcam. Like, we're not afraid. Are we afraid of webcam? We're not afraid of webcam. And so what I'm saying to you is this: do your homework, do your research. Because if you just want to choose one over the other, then be a sigma. A sigma is a lone wolf. It's a wolf. And you know how a wolf, if you look at them at a distance, they're beautiful. They look almost harmless, but it's a wolf.
But you got to understand the whole concept of an alpha.
No, I do.
The alpha not only is the head guy or that head honcho, but he's also responsible for everybody that is in his group, in his surrounding.
No. So he is.
No.
Because the other alpha.
A true alpha is.
No. That's not
about
research, James. That's not research-based information.
Okay.
Another alpha male in that group don't need you to do nothing. You're alpha male, right?
What I'm saying is that
you're alpha male, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. If there's another alpha in the room, do you need him to be responsible?
No, I don't. But I'm saying if I have if it's a group of us, and the whole concept of an alpha is automatically everybody's going to lean towards that person, whether it's for knowledge, whether it's for information, whether it's
except
for just
the
guidance,
other alpha.
Except for the other alpha. But if that's another alpha, he's nine times out of 10, he's not going to be in your group. So what's going to happen is that for everyone that is in that group, you're going to be the one that everybody's going to come to for the answers. You're going to be the one that everybody's come to for the guidance. And as an alpha, is there responsibility for everybody that's associated in that pack? That's
just one aspect. Correct. And like I said, most people just want to talk about the aspect where they feel like it's a superiority type thing.
It's not.
It's not, but we're saying most people, we live here in the A.
Yeah.
So if I'm exaggerating, please tell me. You've been around. You've seen it, James.
Yeah. And the thing,
like,
and what I mean by that, and that is that an alpha can also understand. I can take some information that I can to help build what I'm doing here, and in my situation here, in my home front, my pack, my whatever the situation it may be. An alpha is not closed to the point where I can come to another alpha and say, hey, listen, I need some help on this and blah, 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 blah. That's the part of understanding what it is that you need for you to become successful.
My point is, if people would start actually doing the deep dive, they will discover, as much as they thought that they were an alpha, that they're a sigma. I'm telling you, the sigma, the lone wolf,
Yeah.
that guy, he's observant, he can lead, he can follow, he can kick your ass, he can be a gentleman, he can be the street dude, he can be whatever the occasion calls for. And if you talk to most men, they're going to tell you, I can be all of those things. That's what I got to be. Okay, well, then maybe you're not an alpha. It's not a bad thing. It's a research thing. Like, do the actual total deep dive into these things. You may be dominant alpha, with, it's just like Zodiac. You can be this and have traits also of that.
Correct.
You're a human being. So at the end of the day, you want to be diverse. At the end of the day, you want to be able to get along, especially.
You have to.
Right, because I remember.
Business-wise, you just have to,
I just remember in college, you have these group projects, and the last thing you need is someone that, we're going to do it this way, and that's just the way, like, no. No, we're all part of the group. Like, I've always been told, well, you're alpha female. And I'm saying, well,
you have, as long as I've known you, you have the type of personality that a person, you can't deal with a weak man. I can just say that off the rip. If you're dealing with a weak man, you will not be happy with that situation, because
it's not going to be a situation. We're not even going to get that far.
Correct. Because what's going to happen is that you're very open with what you say, and you're very matter of fact about how you say it. So to some people, they might not be able to understand how you're coming at them, but it's all with love. Now, once they become a friend to you, then they recognize that understanding. But to some people, they'll be like, oh, well, no. At the end of the day, you just cannot handle
I gotta do
that type of personality.
I got to do it.
What's
First of all, I'm not someone that don't know and don't have a relationship with my father. My father's not a weak dude.
No, it's a good man.
Your first image of, if you're fortunate, your first image of a man or a woman is going to be your parents.
Correct.
And if that image is warped, twisted, or messed up, then, like, if you see mom tricking off, lying to dudes to get what she want, you're going to think that that's the way.
Correct.
If you see, as a son, if you see lying to women, laying up, then you're going to think it's all good. I recognize that very few are built like. Now, my father.
He's a good man.
My father remarried, and they were, they did their thing, whatever that means. But I'm saying in terms of divorcing and moving on with other people. But I'm saying that to say this. My pops, I know that you got to be wired differently, because with my pops, my mother and his current wife could work if they want to. He's told me her money is her money.
Yeah.
As the man, I can take care, of this. And my mother's always said he's an excellent provider.
Correct.
And my mother, they were married, she didn't have to, work. Now that can be detrimental, if you divorce and you have no way of, you haven't figured out how to fend for yourself or whatever. But
Well,
very few cats are just going to be like, hey, you take care of this house and these kids and I got everything. There used to be a time in our society where if a man's wife was working, it was a shameful thing. Like, oh, you can't take care of your family. You got your wife out here, But I understand evolution and change and this. I understand that. But I have to ask you, first impressions. First impressions when you first met me.
When I first met you, remember we met at the shop, and when you came in, I was like, okay, because I'm the type of person that's going to observe. I'm going to observe all my surroundings. That just comes.
Well, we share the same zodiac.
Yeah, we share
June 26th.
Yeah,
I'm June 27th.
yeah,
we are
so,
observers.
Yeah, very observant.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you scope out the room, and the first thing that I realized in that is that you're going to speak your mind. That's the first thing. The second thing I realized was that everybody, not all men are going to be able to handle you. And meaning that because you're going to say what's on your mind and you're going to speak your mind, and if they're wrong, they're wrong. You're going to call a spade, and that's just how it is. So I realized that you have a unique personality that most females don't have, and that is that you're able to be around men and get into the same conversations with men, and it doesn't drop off as being opinionated or misogynistic. You can just take it for what it is, and maybe that's a psychological part of you to sit back and analyze those situations out. But we've come across some characters. We've come across Mr. 7 Minute Man. We've come across everybody want to kick guy out, situations, and guys who come in and cap and finesse and put on a facade as if they are, God's gift to everyone.
So you're saying all that to say my first impression is she just don't give a damn.
She gonna tell you like how it is.
Well, I've heard this all my life. That I say what's on my mind. And I do. But what I know for a fact, and I do know myself very well, like I know I got my junk that comes, with me. But I'm the type that if I tell you something, I've already thought about what it is that I want to say to you. I'm not impulsive. I don't just spew something out of pure rage or anger and all of that. It's very calculated. I've thought about it. Even if it's brash, even if it's hard, it would have been worse. Because I've thought about what it is that I want to say to you. Because sometimes, all of us, myself included, all of us, we need to just hear it like it is. That candy coating and they're just trying to rub you through it. People sometimes don't pick it up. They just don't pick it up. But if you say or do something that crosses my morals, my principles, my value, if you are interfering with my peace or my happiness, I'm going to give it to you in a way that you understand you have to stop that in order for us to maintain any kind of friendship. I'm not doing that to you. So why are you doing it to me? Why do you think that that is okay? And some men just
I think
can't
people
handle
in general, I think that what happens is that people take your kindness sometimes as a weakness, and it kind of puts you in a frame of mind. They think that, I can get away with that. You're only getting away with those situations because it's allowed to. Don't take my kindness as a weakness. Mm-hmm. some people just don't have. I try to self-evaluate all the time, and what'll happen is that people will have a tendency to try to take your kindness as a weakness. You know, I never forget I was at a spot and you know, trying to help them out and things of that nature, and you know, they were saying, well, this other guy that I know, he was trying to charge him X amount of dollars to come in and help him set up, and he turned around and said, well, why would I pay that guy that when I'm doing everything that he was doing for free? And until he mentioned it, I said, wow. Because something that I was doing just out of the good nature of my heart to try to help him be successful, he was using it as an advantage to him. And, you know, that's really messed up when you take advantage of a situation like that.
Well, no good deeds sometimes go unpunished. We know that. Give me your thoughts on the cigar of the year, and we'll wrap this thing up.
My evaluation of this is a solid stick, especially for the price point. It's a good stick to the point where as you would enjoy it. It's going to give you tones of a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of earthy, but it's a really solid stick, especially for the price point. And most of your cigar people, they know prices. They know prices. I mean, you know, I never forget I went into one spot, and this spot it had a Monte Cristo brown label, and they were charging $25 for it. And I was like, wow. I mean, it's a great stick, but is it worth $25 when other stores have it for $13 or $14?
Right.
So,
well, my take is it's decent for the price point. I personally would not have rated it number one, but who the hell am I? Thanks for tuning in. Please, we want to hear your comments. Get at me about, you know, the Snyder punch.
or nipple in the mouth, whatever you want to call it.
If you want a Sports-A-Delic t-shirt or hoodie, thanks for tuning in, and happy
Christmas and Merry New Year.
You heard it
That's
right
wrong,
here.
right?
They
It's
got
this
it.
punch.
They got it.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 22.
Coming at you. Peace.